Hey everybody, it's Seth Jones, editor-in-chief of Golfdom Magazine. I'm at the 2025 GCSAA Conference and Show in beautiful San Diego. I'm at the Envu booth, and I'm being joined by Jesse Benelli, Ph.D. with the Green Solutions team, and James Hempfling, Ph.D., Green Solutions team. Guys, thanks for taking the time to come out, and we're going to do a little fireside chat here about what some of the things that are going on. So, earlier I was in the booth, got to see you guys and see what you guys got going on. A big deal for your message to your consumers is root health, the importance of root health. James, just tell me some of the things that you're saying off camera about what your mindset is when it comes to how vital that is for your superintendent customers.
Yeah, well, first of all, our customers, superintendents, they work so hard to grow their roots, to maximize their root mass, their root length, in cool season turf, in the spring and the fall. And so our job at Envu is to help them protect all that hard-earned growth that they've done in the spring and the fall to maximize their root mass.
Mm-hmm. Jesse, I know you're also equally some of the animations you have in the booth are about just the importance of that for the superintendents. What are your takeaways on that?
It's very important when we talk with our customers and understand what are some of the biggest problems and challenges they have. As important as something like dollar spot is, a foliar disease on fairways, the reality on putting greens, the diseases that are most hard to manage would be those that happen to infect the turf below the soil surface, root diseases. One of the more frustrating things about managing root diseases, well, one, right off the bat, they're very difficult to diagnose, not only in the field, but back in the diagnostic lab, because that diagnostician is likely looking at 2 or 3 or more different pathogens in that root system. And as bad as those symptoms look on the surface, I guarantee you the situation is even more dire below the soil surface. All of your roots are now shortened and dysfunct. And if you're managing creep and bent grass putting greens, that's the worst feeling in the world you could have if that's happening in late spring, early summer, because you know you're not growing any more new roots. Similar story down south on warm season putting greens, Bermuda grass putting greens, is the root system that you have by mid-October is all you're gonna get. You're not gonna grow new roots through those winter months, so do what you can to build them up as much as you can. And we have a portfolio of solutions that can really address that exact need.
Okay. Jesse, let me stick with you, because when you're talking to your superintendents, there's a lot of things to choose from. There's rotation things they have to do. Do you find that guys are typically, generally speaking, happy with their fungicide programs in 2025, or are they still looking for that magic bullet?
Well, credit to them, they're always thinking how they can improve their existing fungicide program. And in terms of root diseases, it can be very complicated because there's a lot of different targets that you have to address. Do I have a Pythium disease? Do I have one of those ectotrophic runner hyphae diseases like spring dead spot, take-all root rot, or take-all patch? Or do I have pathogenic nematodes? A product like Resilia that can address all three, manage those very effectively, is really the easy button for a superintendent, and one that I would encourage them to look into when they're building out their plant protection calendar.
Okay, cool. So James, talk to me about how can a root-focused strategy really help a superintendent in terms of having the greens that their membership wants?
Yeah, well, number one, when you're talking about roots, you really need to focus on preventative applications. And so if you're not focused on preventative applications and you're more a reactive approach, and you wait for those root diseases to show their ugly faces on the surface during midsummer, you've got your work cut out for you. You know, that damage underground was done a long time ago, and so you're in for a long road of curative applications. And so by focusing on the roots earlier in the season, you're, I guess, lessening your chance of getting caught with your plants down, so to speak, in midsummer.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think one thing I wanted to say before, I mean, you can have the right fungicide selection, you can have the right fungicide timing, but there are other things that you need to consider when talking about protecting your roots, something like post-application irrigation. And unfortunately, we see this overlooked quite a bit. You know, you get 80% of the job done, you're hammering the nail, and that last swing you miss because you didn't water it in as soon as possible or with enough water. Typically, we say 1/8 of an inch or more.
Okay, good feedback. So how's about, you brought up Resilia earlier. And why don't you talk to me just about like what are the things that sets that product apart from other things that other chemistries that superintendents might be?
Well, great question. In just rewinding a little bit, when we were coming up with the idea of Resilia, we wanted to provide a solution that was easy for superintendents to put in their program. And when you're thinking about Resilia, it's really fun when you get to launch a new product. It's fun when you launch a new active ingredient. It's fun if you have a chance to launch a new mode of action. When we launched Resilia, it was really launching a whole new category of product. Something that can control nematodes and fungal diseases was something we haven't seen. It's really unprecedented, and having a tool like that is really beneficial for the superintendent to address those needs, because one of the things that we found out through the hard work of a lot of our university researchers is that these nematodes can play in tandem with these fungal pathogens, and they team up and they just compound the issue in the roots. So controlling both of them is going to lead to a lot of success.
Okay, great. James, you said something earlier. We were talking about, and along the lines of Resilia, about how knowing what your specialty is and why you do what you do. You basically are putting your name behind these things. And what's it like to have a new weapon like this for superintendents that that you can go to them and say, maybe want to give this a look?
Yeah, absolutely. As Jesse mentioned, this is a first of its kind all-in-one solution. So in a way, we're providing a big red easy button that you can smash during those times when root protection is most important. Also, as an artifact of protecting your roots, you're hedging your bets. You're protecting your plants when they need protection the most. We've done many research trials, time and time again, where Resilia has surprised us, not only during the trial period controlling disease, but as an artifact of protecting the roots. You see those benefits many months after the trial is over, where those Resilia treated plants are still green because they have protected roots well after the trial period. Even a whole season after, we still see Resilia providing those effects.
It's nice asset for you guys to have here. That's why your Envu booth was so busy today.
Yeah, well, it's a very important conversation, protecting your roots. And unfortunately, and somehow it's been overlooked in the past. And I think by our launching a product that's only labeled for root pathogens, I think it does show our dedication to helping our customers and solve their biggest problems, which when you're talking about diseases, undoubtedly, root diseases are your biggest problems.
When I was in here, the plant health topic came up, and that was something that for 25 years I've been in the industry, and I feel like that was a really good, maybe like a catchphrase like a while back, and then I haven't heard it quite as much lately. But then back with you guys, you were talking about the importance of plant health and plant health strategy. What are you telling your clients, your customers, superintendents about the importance of having the proper plant health?
It's very important. What we found is that it really does start from the ground up. If you're a golf course superintendent who's looking at your existing fungicide program, how could I make it better? What are some of your main challenges? What we've learned is, well, we have some really excellent fungicides available in the market. Consider reprioritizing some of those applications and watering them in. Take advantage of what some of these fungicides can do. Yeah. Fungicides, it's rare for fungicides to be able to move down in the plant. One exception is Signature Extra Stress Guard, which we love as that foliar spray. Leave it on top, you get all of those stress guard benefits. But if you're working with systemic materials, it is possible for a golf course superintendent to water that product in, control those root diseases, and then where does that chemical go? It's going to go up to the shoots. So you can control root diseases as well as foliar diseases if you water in some of those systemic fungicides, which we're excited about Resilia, and we're excited about some of these newer solutions that we'll be bringing into the market in the future, one being Tarvecta, which is combining a strobilurin fungicide, Fame, or fluoxystrobin, as a product that you could rotate with Resilia, water that in. It's going to control root diseases as well as foliar diseases.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
Well, Tarvecta being the combination of fluoxystrobin and flutriafol, which we know in Rayora, also best-in-class xylem mobility. It's going to go up to the plant better than any other DMI. So it's a pretty exciting product in that regard.
Good. Tell me this, just to get a little background on the green solution team that Envu has. How many people are on the team, and what's it feel like to know that the company is out there nationwide, worldwide, trying to help superintendents, but you guys have this group of specialists that are here to help your customer? Like, how often do you guys stay in touch with each other? What's it like to be on the team, and what's it like to just like have that job?
Frequently, we talk quite a bit. We're really strategically placed throughout the country, and our team consists of 5 members of the GST, and we have an ornamental specialist, which is amazing. And we all have our own specializations, but we talk quite frequently, and any problem addressed to one of us, often we'll seek input from the others and be able to provide the best solution possible to that golf course superintendent.
Yeah, it's an extreme privilege to work with such a talented team, and we do talk daily, and we speak freely too. I mean, we all have great ideas, and we make them better whenever we share them with each other and refine them. Iron sharpens iron, I think, is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and then the Green Solution Team also, like, part of the program you guys have is a golf course site visit. With what can you explain to me what that entails and how does that work?
Yeah, and in a way, that's just kind of what we do every day. You know, we support our customers, we support our internal sales team, our distribution partners, and when you have a problem on the ground that's a head scratcher, and that's what we love to do. We would love to show up and help, not only be a sounding board, but another source of ideas of what could be solving the problems and what could be causing the problems and how can we help.
That's an amazing experience. I know one of my favorite things to do is meet with the superintendent, meet with the staff on hand, and just leave the golf carts where they are and just take a walk on the golf course and just talk about agronomics, talk about some of the challenges he's facing. And it's really great when all of that comes together.
That's cool that you guys can do that, and that I can imagine some of the things the peace of mind that you're bringing to these guys, because it is a stressful job, and to know that you got the expert out there who knows exactly what they're doing with their chemistries can lend a hand. So congratulations and kudos to the continued success of the Green Solution Team, and it's growing. So we want to stay in touch with you guys, so let us know how we can get you out there to our readers.
Yeah, likewise.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much again. This is Jesse Benelli, Ph.D., James Hempfling, Ph.D. They're members of the Green Solution Team for Envu, and I'm Seth Jones. Thank you for watching us here on Golfton TV.